back in the day, I've been meaning to get back to my watercolor hobby. So, Rosalyn, you're on, and I guess initially, perhaps you should share with us what your path and level is, because I forgot to download your introduction. Mea
Teresa,
culpa.
I'll be more than happy to do that for you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. So the path that DTM Rosalyn Kahn will be speaking from is Strategic Relationships, Level 3, and she will focus on the positive aspects. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech, and the title is Rosalyn Kahn will talk about how watercolors transform stress into beauty, how watercolors transform stress into beauty. But before I do that, Rosalyn Kahn is a DTM. She's a Triple Crown recipient. She was recently guest on District 57's Toastmaster TV Time, or Toastmaster Time TV. And she recently completed a very stressful evaluation of her scholastic teaching and found watercolors as a way to deal with it. She has been labeled as a modern impressionistic painter and will have her artwork shown in Beverly Hills the last week of July. Rosalyn Kahn, How Watercolors Transform Stress into Beauty. How Watercolors Transform Stress into Beauty. Rosalyn Kahn, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, DeMarie. I have never been so excited than I am to give this speech. So it is entitled, How Watercolors Changed My Life. So I'd like to begin by showing you this picture. This picture is one I did rather recently. I'd like to let you know that I've only been painting for just 6 weeks. And when I paint pictures, I look at pictures and I look for shapes. And my eyes focus on the picture and my pen is simply doing the drawing. This is a photograph of a lady who was an educator activist. And what really makes me happy about this picture is the illustration of the shading, the details of the earrings and the hair. She had very curly hair. And every day, whether someone tells me or not, I can look at a picture of myself and I say, that's pretty good, Rosalyn, not so bad. So this is why watercolors are so important. They create cool effects. They're easier to begin with newcomers because you can always go ahead and paint over it. You can go with the flow. They're more affordable than other suppliers. And one of the things of being a teacher is you don't have a lot of expendable income. So I'm going to tell you a secret. One day I decided that I should try watercolors. I went to the 99-cent store, and for 99 cents, I got this really cool little watercolors that I could go ahead and use. I started painting on the back of the piece of paper. There's a store that's called 5 and Below that sells art supplies, very, very inexpensive. So one of the things I absolutely love to paint is flowers. This was a bouquet of flowers I had received probably for my birthday. And it's really amazing because with this picture, when I first started painting, I was doing some pencil drawings, and then the pencil drawings became offensive to me. I couldn't use those pencil drawings. I didn't like to see the pencil marks. But you can see there's more than roses there. There are different colored flowers and just the contrast and the blending. This was basically about a week into my going ahead and starting with the painting. So before watercolors, what's really important is everybody needs a way or method they can do something to relax themselves. You know, they'd say, bingo, I found it. And that hobby might develop into something more. Before watercolors, I was pretty stressed out. How could they say these things about me? They're completely, entirely untrue. I'm not what they say they are. And one day my self-conscious said, Rosalyn, you should pick up some watercolors. And my work is very busy and I'm often overwhelmed. I was trying to change one of the slides and I wasted 25 minutes when I could have edited something. And I began this morning making a picture. And when I made that picture, I knew that time was well spent. When you go with the flow of painting a picture, it helps me to relax and start anew. I'm with a group and they say, what are you going to do to relax today? And I said, paint a picture. And my goal is to every day paint a picture. And I know it's going to get better and better. This is another picture that I had done of flowers. They make me happy. There's a heart down in the bottom. And you can see the evolution of the painting because the strokes are very different. I have a lady who's running for Congress. Her name is Dom Jones, and you can check her out on Instagram. She said painting has been in her family. And one day when we sat down to meet, she looked at me and she said, I'm a visionary. I can often look at people and tell where they're going in their life. And I see you as a modern impressionist painting. And she's kind of looked at my paintings, and she's going to be there at my first debut of my art show, and I'll tell you about that a little later. And so art can change your perspective on life. It can teach you about nature. Every time I go out and take a walk, I'm looking at leaves, I'm looking at shapes and saying, can I do that? Let me go home and let's practice some leaves. Can I make that tree? Is that an image I can do? It can help you understand yourself, because at the time I was going under this evaluation, there was all sorts of negative thoughts that were going through my head of how could we do this? I was in a group that said that one of the quotes for the day is, through failure, we learn a new skill. For my 60th birthday, my sister said, you've got to try something you've never done before. And I'd stand in front of my class and say, I can't draw, I can't do that. And what I found is I'm quite artistic. It can help you become more tolerant of other people. It can refine your other skills, like writing and speaking, in ways of putting words together, coloring them. I was reading a thing on the composer of Los Angeles, and I was looking at this in the last paragraph of how they describe this person as an artist when he put those words together, and they just jumped out at me, kind of like the colors do when I'm painting a picture. They can also help make you feel better. This right here is a picture. It's a little light, but what the beauty of what this picture is this flower comes out once a year for a very short period of time. And I apologize, I can't tell you the name of this flower, but it was absolutely gorgeous. Having an outlet, everyone needs to have something they can release themselves beyond work or school. And it can be relaxing and rewarding, because I know I've showed this to many artists, and they said from day one, Rosalyn, keep painting, keep going at this. It gets your mind off your problems and it helps you cope. I recommend that you might try watercolors. It's kind of fun. If not, maybe there's some other hobby that can push you on. There's an artist I go see at the farmer's market, and yesterday I showed him one of my most recent paintings, and he said, you are making progress. And we finished, and he had these pictures out his window, and I said, maybe someday we can paint together. You can do your painting and I can do mine. And he's actually going to show up at my art show that's coming up this weekend on Sunday. When I went to go visit my friend Anna Marie, she said, you've got to try something beyond watercolors. And so these are pastels. They're like crayons, but they have the effect of what oil looks like. And so my sister-in-law had gone to France, and I said, I can do that. I like fruits and vegetables. And so it's kind of my own interpretation of it. And I was just up in the Bay Area for the television times with Toastmasters District 57, and I had created that. And my art journey has been very rewarding. My skills have developed not in less than 6 months. I asked the question to all of you, if you're looking at these pictures now, where do you see me in a year? It's satisfying to complete a new drawing or a painting. It's fun to decorate your workplace with your art, and it's fun to share your artwork with others. You have to turn yourself on the side of your head. This is a flower that was growing in somebody else's yard, and it was just so beautiful with all the leaves coming out, the pectin and the other stuffs. It was absolutely very gorgeous. And I thought the paper looked a little plain by its side. And if I had this to do all over again, I would take off that little thing in the corner. And I was just trying to fill up space. And tips and action items. Start with something small and affordable. Experience with different mediums. Don't beat yourself up. Don't take yourself too seriously. Be open to constructive criticism, and you can keep aiming towards your own goals. And so as we finish, this is another picture. We might have seen it before. Very beautiful. Just the flowers I love to paint. I started painting just in less than 6 weeks ago, and I've decided to pattern my style after the Impressionist movement. To learn more about my work, you can email me at con.roslyn@gmail.com. Happy painting. And I'm very proud to say that this weekend I'm going to have my debut in Beverly Hills, is where I'm going to be showing my art. I just picked up my prints today, and I was so excited to see them actually in a frame. It is amazing. I hope you too can find this enjoyment and joy in the things that you paint. Madam Toastmaster.
Wow. Thank you for that. Let's give her a round of applause. Can we have 1 minute on the clock, please?